All right, so welcome back. If you guys watched the last video, then you know we went ahead and set the body back down on this chassis. And I went ahead and put the engine and trans in it. I need to spin the car around, put it up on the lift, and let's see how much of this new floor we're gonna have to cut out of it, because I can't even get it up high enough to get the motor mounting bolts all the way through it. So this is just a mock-up 5.3 that was in it before, but threw the passenger side header on, make sure everything cleared, but got good amount of room for bell housing bolts and whatnot. So anyways, need to go ahead and get this outside, spin it around. All right, so I went ahead and got the car spun around back up on the lift, as you can tell. And this trans tunnel situation isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to get all the way back into this brace here, and it's not as of right now. I'm hitting on these factory remote shifter tabs. And then what else am I hitting on? It's definitely going to hit here. I don't know if I can cut that off. Pretty sure I can cut the tabs off for the shifter. But it's going to be pretty close up here on the front. It's about to touch right there, maybe a 1/4 inch. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow this floor pan line back to behind the tranny, cut it all out, and then get the transmission sitting where I need to, build the cross member. And then hopefully I can just build like little extensions out of some sheet metal and raise that tunnel up. I think the tranny's got to go up probably another 2 inches, honestly, because the motor mount bolts, I can see the bolt, but it's still not lined up. Also, I can't get my header on. This control arm pocket needs to sit into here. And as you can tell, that's not going to happen. All right, so I got the tunnel cut out, and of course, got something in my eye, so it's all messed up for right now. So hopefully that'll get better. But yeah, I got the tunnel cut out of it, and got some issues that I thought I had already addressed before. But for some reason, our header's not clearing on the driver's side, and there's a lot of room between the firewall and the block. So I'll show you guys what kind of room we're working with, and then I'll show you the header real quick. So when I had this in mocked up, this control arm pocket was sitting inside this tube area. It is now hitting the tube directly. You can kind of see how much room I'm working with firewall there. But I think what I'm gonna need to do is, these brackets are for swapping to small block Chevy and vehicles, Pontiac, yada yada. And then I got ICT plates. They're slid as far forward as I can get them. I can't shove this motor back anymore. So I think what I'm gonna do, unbolt these frame mounts. I got my trans jack underneath the oil pan with a piece of wood, trying to distribute some weight. And I'm gonna unbolt these frame brackets and try sliding this motor back about, I think it needs to go back about an inch, inch and a half. That will gain us some room on this oil pan to steering, which isn't terrible. I can get my finger in there now. But the pan tapers up to the front, so it'll gain us a little bit there. All right, so as you can see, I went ahead and got some of this cross member built, not all of it. I'll walk you guys through what I did. So I took a piece of plate that my buddy Joe gave me. I drilled some holes in it and bolted it to the transmission mount. This is a stock 2014 Camaro mount. I'm gonna run it only in case if I ever need another one. It'll it'll be pretty easy to get. I know the kit I've been looking at through 3 pedals comes with a different one. I don't know what the differences really are, but either way, I just used the stock one and built the cross member to it. But I used some 1x1 square tubing, the same stuff I used for the rear of the floor. I think it's going to be fine, but only one way to figure it out. So I went ahead, put the bottom piece in, raised it up 2 inches. So I'm hoping it clears the exhaust. Both sides, we don't have to deal with that. Then out of that same piece of plate, I made some tabs, and Joe made me these little slide adjuster deals. So they'll go on there like that, and then if we ever change the transmission to something else, then we should have enough adjustment. I think it's 10 inches to slide, but I can't remember. But anyways, I went ahead and stuck this up there and marked where I needed to drill my holes at. So I'm going to drill the holes in that, see if my bits have enough life left in it. And then I'm going to bolt this to that, get it slid over to the frame, and get it welded in, and then just repeat the process over there. Alright, so I went ahead and took the tab that I made, drilled some holes through it, bolted it to the center of my slider side here. And now I'm going to take this wood clamp, because it's actually kind of nice to use, especially when you only have one hand. And we're going to get this in here and get it welded up. Alright, so the next thing is finally take this stand out from underneath it and see if any of this stuff flexes. I'm not sure if I'm going to need to put a couple gussets from the frame to here, little triangle pieces. It's still pretty warm, I can feel it without even touching it, but or if just welding this is going to be enough. This is pretty thick steel, so I think it'll be alright. And I am going to build little caps for the end of these open tubes here. So let's see if this thing flexes any. See if I need to worry about putting some gussets in or not. Not too shabby. We'll give it the old weight test here in a sec. Oh, about lost it. Oh, I might put some gussets in here. There's a little flex there. I think if I make 2 triangle pieces here, maybe even 45 it and put a piece of flat steel here and on the back side, I'll probably stiffen that up pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, there's a little bit of flex, but it's right here in the center. I don't think I need to worry about the outsides. I think those are going to be pretty good. I will have to finish weld the tops once I take it out, but that's not anything crazy. So let's go ahead and put this thing down and I'll show you what kind of clearance we got on everything. Well, I guess we can look under here while we're here. But header's clearing now, barely. I still think I'm gonna dimple this tube. I need to do something about this firewall here. You can see it bumps out. Probably gonna take that bump out of it. So you can get that bolt all the way loose, you just can't get it out of its spot. And that's the only bolt that is really can't get out of there. The top one's easy, and then these ones, the floor slants so much that it's gonna make for working on this thing pretty easy. So I just got to deal with this one bolt situation here, and then yeah, I ended up sliding this motor back. I think it was about an inch and a half. So it's pretty tight against the firewall. But let's put it down and see what kind of room we have on the passenger head. The passenger head's the one that's the tightest. All right, so I'm back out here, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what kind of clearance we're working with on this motor. The passenger head's pretty tight against the firewall, but there is room there. Turns out this top bell housing bolt also is too tight against the firewall. I can't pull it out. I can get it completely loose. I just can't pull it out, just like the one down low I showed you guys. But what I'm thinking is, if I ever need to pull this motor out, I'm probably gonna pull it out engine and trans together, or drop the tranny down a little bit and I'll be able to slide those bolts out. Not that they really need to come out, they just need to come loose from the block. So I'm leaning more toward not messing with the firewall anymore and just leaving it the way it is. I don't see why it would be a problem. But yeah, I got the steel motor plates to the frame tacked in both sides, and the header clears over here real nice. Got tons of room on this driver's side head. So all in all, pretty happy with it. I honestly thought this intake was going to sit higher up on this firewall, which it's kind of low. So I'm hoping it doesn't look like the engine's sunk way down in. And remember, we already spaced this thing up like a ½ inch. So I probably could have went with a Holley high ram, honestly. But it is what it is. This BTR intake looks awesome. So the next couple days, I'm going to pull the engine and trans out of it. I'm going to finish weld these frame brackets to the frame, and then well, I guess I should probably look into building a trans tunnel before I do that. But yeah, we had to cut quite a bit of floor out of it, fit that transmission in it. So I guess that's probably what I'll do. I'll go ahead and mess with the trans tunnel, and then I'm going to pull the engine and transmission out of it, weld those plates in. And I'm going to put a couple braces in that transmission cross member, a couple triangle pieces out of this thick plate I got from Joe. So that should stiffen it up. It didn't look as bad in person of the flex until I watched it while editing. And it definitely dropped a little bit. So I'm going to have to do something about that. Thanks for watching, and make sure you like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you next time.